Welcome to LFC Transfer Hub. Liverpool icon names Arne Slot's unsung hero. He deserves all the success. Liverpool has won the Premier League and Carabao Cup during the last 2 seasons, with Arne Slot's squad hoping to achieve more success during the upcoming campaign. Lucas Leiva has praised the role Wataru Endo has played in Liverpool's recent success. Endo, who recently delivered a fresh hint on his Liverpool future, made a surprise move to Merseyside 2 years ago after the Reds agreed to a £16 million, $21.5 million, deal with German side Stuttgart. Not much was expected of the midfielder, who was already in his 30s and had never played for one of Europe's top clubs. Yet Endo has proven to be a bargain for Liverpool. The 32-year-old was a regular under Jurgen Klopp during the 2023-24 campaign, making 44 appearances in all competitions to help the team secure a top 4 finish in the Premier League and Carabao Cup glory. Endo played more of a supporting role under Arne Slot last season, making many of his 32 appearances in all competitions from the bench. But he always performed when called up, even featuring at centre-back when the Reds were short in defence. Endo's willingness to take a back seat last term helped Liverpool clinch the Premier League title, and he's expected to stay at Anfield this summer. Lucas, who spent a decade playing holding midfield for Liverpool, appreciates the role Endo plays in Slot's roster. "I think Endo has played a big part for 2 seasons," Lucas told This Is Anfield. "Last year, of course, he played less. I'm not inside the team and I don't know, but I'm sure what a professional he is, and his mentality has shown that he deserves all the success. Of course, last year he got less game time, but you could see that when he came on, he always played a big role." Liverpool turned to Endo on the eve of the 2023-24 season after Moises Caicedo rejected the Reds to join Chelsea for a British record transfer fee. The experienced star had previously played for clubs in Japan and Belgium before joining Stuttgart in 2019. Endo helped Stuttgart achieve promotion to the Bundesliga during his first season in Germany before ensuring the team stayed up over the next 3 years. Considering Stuttgart narrowly avoided relegation in 2023 by winning a playoff against Hamburg, it's fair to assume no big clubs were looking at signing Endo. But Liverpool's sporting director at the time, Jörg Schmadtke, had an encyclopedic knowledge of the German league and knew the Japanese star would be the perfect fit for the Reds. Lucas is thankful his former club swooped for Endo. He added, Endo, is what good teams are about. It is not just the ones that play every game, play every minute, but the ones that maybe play less but play a big role. I really enjoy watching him play because he is a great player. He is in the national team from Japan and a fantastic guy. I'm sure of that." Liverpool's net spend over last 3 seasons speaks volumes amid Arne Slot's spree. Liverpool has spent heavily this summer, but the foundations to be able to do so were laid in previous years, as the Reds largely kept their powder dry 12 months ago. Liverpool has spent more heavily than ever this summer, committing over $100 million to 2 separate signings in Florian Wirtz and Hugo Ekitike, while also spending a significant amount on each of Jeremy Frimpong, Milos Kerkez, and Georgi Mamardashvili. And the Reds are seemingly not done there, with a deal to sign Alexander Isak for what would undoubtedly be a Premier League record fee also seemingly on the cards. Luis Diaz's impending move to Bayern Munich is set to bring in one of the highest fees that Liverpool has ever received for a player, and that is largely why a deal to sign Isak is financially viable. The Reds have also already raised $74 million through the sales of Trent Alexander-Arnold, Kevin Kelleher, Jarell Quansah, and Diaz's departure is set to bring in an extra $86 million. Darwin Núñez, Harvey Elliott, and Federico Chiesa are also facing uncertain futures at Anfield. And it is not unreasonable to suggest that those 3 players could take the total value of Liverpool's summer sales to around the $300 million mark. But Liverpool's spend during the off-season has not only been made possible by summer sales. It has a lot to do with the Reds' shrewd activity over the last few years. Observing the figures provided on Transfermarkt, we can see that between the start of the 2023 summer window and the end of the 2025 January window, Liverpool spent $250 million on transfers, while also recouping $125 million from player sales. That's a net spend of just $125 million across 4 transfer windows, which is a relative pittance in Premier League spending terms. and is why the club is on such a strong financial footing to spend big this summer. When this summer's activity is factored in, the net spend since the start of the 2023 summer window is just over the $400 million mark. It remains to be seen exactly what that figure will look like when the transfer window closes, but it could well remain around that mark, even if Isak joins. That's because the Diaz money, as well as any fees that the club might bring in for Elliott, Nunez and Chiesa, would likely equate to a similar fee to what the Reds might have to pay for Isak. Although Liverpool is also keen on a new centre-back, with Mark Guéhi a top target, so depending on what happens there, the total net spend could still increase. Still, though, even if Liverpool's net spend ends up at between $400 million and $500 million over a 3-year period, which is what the Premier League takes into account when assessing a club's finances, that is not particularly high for a club of Liverpool's stature. Inside training. How Liverpool prepared on Monday in Japan. Watch the best footage from Liverpool's first full day on tour in Japan with a new edition of Inside Training. The Reds' pre-season schedule in Tokyo on Monday started at a nearby temple, where the players and staff undertook a meditation session. In the afternoon, Arne Slot's men were back on the grass, putting in more work as they build up to a game against Yokohama F. Marinos on Wednesday. Ibrahima Konate told of his interview, "We have to be prepared to go again this season. Liverpool are determined to improve upon last season and go again, as Premier League champions," explained Ibrahima Konate. The Red squad are hard at work in humid temperatures in Asia, with Japan their current base after almost a week of pre-season preparations in Hong Kong. The target of their efforts is August and being ready for a new campaign that Konate, who featured in 42 games in 2024-25, expects to be an increased challenge on last term. He told LiverpoolFC.com following Monday's afternoon training session in Tokyo, "Last season we came back with a new manager, and he had a very good idea, and he said before the season started what we have to do to win the Premier League. We just followed what he said, and at the end we had a good result for the club. I think this season will be more difficult. Because for sure we are happy and we don't have to forget last season, but we have to take the good parts of last season as well as the bad parts where we did not really great and work on that. We were champions last season and it's finished now. We have to go again and try to do something even better than last season. That's why the preseason is very important. I know it's very difficult for everyone, but we need these tough sessions to be ready for the season." On the testing nature of the ongoing build-up to the new season, Konate said, "For sure we can see that in the training videos that everyone can see. But I think this is very good for us and we need that. We need to train very hard for this season because I think every team wants to beat us. And we want to protect our trophy from last season as well. Then we need to work in these hard conditions with this hard weather. Just to be ready for the season because the season will be very difficult." The number 5 is heading towards his 5th campaign with the club since joining from RB Leipzig back in the summer of 2021. By contrast, his French compatriot Hugo Ekitike is in the infancy of his Liverpool career, having sealed a move from Eintracht Frankfurt just days ago. Konate is ready to be of any support to the Reds' newest recruit as he settles into a different environment. Yes, for sure," he said. "This is normal if you are older than someone who comes to the club. For sure you have to look after him. Help him to adapt if he needs anything in the city or in the club, just to be there for him. That's what I'm doing with him." Liverpool have first workout in Tokyo. Liverpool had a first training session in Japan on Monday afternoon. See photos from their latest preseason work. Arne Slot's squad touched down in Tokyo on Sunday evening and were soon back on the pitch at the JFA YUME field. The Reds are preparing to face Yokohama F. Marinos at Nissan Stadium on Wednesday, a game that will conclude this summer's tour of Asia. Every Liverpool player Richard Hughes has sold with $225 million made. Richard Hughes has amassed an impressive record of sales since taking over as Liverpool sporting director, enabling the club to make huge investments in Arne Slot's squad. Luis Diaz is the latest Liverpool player headed for the exit door after an $88 million deal was struck with Bayern Munich on Sunday, and it continues sporting director Richard Hughes' strong record of lucrative sales. The Colombian winger had been locked in exhaustive contract talks with Hughes and the Reds hierarchy, but an agreement was not forthcoming. and it has been deemed best for all parties for the 28-year-old to move on. Although Diaz has often been a highly effective attacking option for Liverpool through the reigns of Jurgen Klopp and Arne Slot, the Reds are set to bank a handsome fee, which could free up more cash to continue a summer spending spree that has brought the acquisitions of Hugo Ekitike and Florian Wirtz. Hughes became Liverpool's sporting director ahead of the 2024 summer transfer window, and he has been a very busy man, particularly this year with plenty of incomings and outgoings. The exits he has sanctioned have been highly lucrative for the club. Fabio Carvalho, $27 million. The exciting attacker became the first of 3 players to be shipped to Premier League rivals Brentford over the past 2 summers. The Portuguese, 22, had shown flickers of his potential in the red of Liverpool, including his stoppage time winner against Newcastle United in 2022. But the former Fulham talent became a peripheral figure in the team and was loaned to RB Leipzig in 2023, but his stay in Germany was disastrous. After just 9 league appearances and no goals, the loan was cut short and he was sent to Championship club Hull City for the rest of the season. There, he shone, netting 20 times in 9 games. It was not enough to earn his way back into the fold at Anfield, but it did pave the way for another chance in the Premier League. He joined the Bees for a fee of around $27 million, and he scored 3 goals in 24 appearances. Sepp van den Berg, $28 million. The Dutchman, 23, was unable to break through at Anfield, appearing in just 4 games in all competitions and never making a Premier League appearance. After impressive loans at Schalke and Mainz in the Bundesliga, Van den Berg was sold to the Bees for a fee in the region of $28 million in August 2024. He made 31 appearances for Brentford last season as the club secured a mid-table finish. Nat Phillips, $4 million. The academy graduate played prominently during an injury crisis in 2020-21, scoring 1 Premier League goal in his 17 appearances. But although the centre-back gave it his all, he did not possess the quality required to be a Liverpool centre-back. Phillips made just 2 more Premier League appearances for the club over the past 4 seasons, spending the vast majority of the time out on loan. In June, he was sold to Championship outfit West Bromwich Albion for $4 million. Including add-ons. Trent Alexander-Arnold, $11 million. The sale of Alexander-Arnold for a fee in excess of $11 million might be Hughes' best piece of business yet. The homegrown right-back had agreed to join Real Madrid on a free transfer after running down his contract. But with Los Blancos desperate for their new signing to take part in the Club World Cup, Liverpool managed to extract a significant transfer fee in May for a man they expected to lose for nothing a few weeks later. Caoimhin Kelleher, $25 million. The Irishman appeared to have the potential to succeed the brilliant Alisson Becker in goal, stepping in superbly during the Brazilian's numerous injury absences over the past couple of years. But the signing of Georgi Mamardashvili from Valencia 12 months ago indicated that Liverpool were looking in a different direction, with Mamardashvili arriving this summer after being loaned back to the Spanish club. Kelleher's departure seemed inevitable, with the 26-year-old hungry to be a number 1. He followed Van den Berg and Carvalho to Brentford in a deal that could be worth almost $25 million if all the add-ons are triggered, and that will be pure profit under Profit and Sustainability Rules, PSR, as he was a homegrown player. Jarell Quansah, $41 million. The academy graduate showed plenty of promise since breaking into the first team, but it was clear that Slot was not convinced he was up to the job. The centre-back made 58 senior appearances for the Reds, including 13 in the Premier League last season as he picked up a winner's medal. But when a $41 million offer came in from Bayer Leverkusen this summer, Liverpool gladly cashed in considering the PSR boost, although the centre-back ranks look thin now with Joe Gomez's injury leaving Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate as the only fit senior options as the new season nears. Luis Diaz, $88 million. The Colombia international will undergo a medical in Munich on Monday, ahead of his move to the Allianz Arena being confirmed. He joined the Reds from Porto in 2022, and he produced plenty of signature moments in a trophy-laden stay on Merseyside. With 13 goals in 36 Premier League appearances last season, he was a pivotal player in the title triumph. But with the arrival of fresh talent in Ekitike and Wirtz, Liverpool's attacking ranks are primed for a shake-up, and an $88 million transfer fee for a 28-year-old appears shrewd business. Thanks for watching. Like and comment and subscribe.